finding your worth. I just want to, again, continue to, because I think it's super important for me to just recognize everyone who continues to support and to listen to my podcast on a daily or share it with friends or family or whatever it is. I just really want to say thank you to those people that listen to my podcast and that share my podcast and that support me and that comment when I ask questions or just whatever. Like, that is really, really helpful to me. And so I just really want to say thank you to everyone who continues to support me and help me through this, because it really does help me, and I really want to use this podcast as a platform to share Jesus and to share truth and to share worth. And so it really is helpful when people give up like their opinions on like a topic that I'm talking about, or just whatever it is, and like get connected in that way. And so thanks again to everyone who continues to do that. It seriously means a lot to me, and it encourages me to keep going and to keep producing new content and new episodes for you guys. So thank you again, and I'll probably say thanks at the end of this because it's what I do, but I really just want to say thank you to everyone, and that it really means a lot. Today I'm going to be talking about connection and connecting with one another, and what that kind of looks like for me, and what I feel like that kind of looks like in our day-to-day world around us, and how we can maybe find some ways to connect better with each other on a more deep level compared to a more surfacey or just a more kind of light chill level, but we can really connect with one another on a level of respect and of trust and of worth, and really rejoice and lean into those differences and with that connection with one another. So for me, connection is a very big thing because I'm very much of a people pleaser or people person, and so connection for me is very, very important when I'm with people, or I'm out around people, or just doing life in general, whether it's work or school or church activities or meeting new people or sports or whatever it is. Like, that's super important to me, to be able to connect with my peers, with older people, with younger people, with just everyone around me in general. And so I just think that in our generation now, I feel like there is a lot of disconnection with the technology that is now in our world, which I don't want to sit here and bag on technology and be like, it's the worst thing ever, and like, don't ever use it, and get off social media. But because technology has literally brought a lot for us, and it's definitely helped me a lot. Like, maps for one, crazy. Like, if I didn't have maps, probably would have gotten lost in a lot of places. Or even like things with social media, like, it's good to be able to connect with people you haven't spoken for in years, and like talk to them every once in a while, or like see what they're doing in their life, and just because you go your separate ways in life, and so you don't really see them anymore. So that has been cool and stuff, and I really appreciate that. But I also think there has been a lot of disconnect with each other, and how we connect with each other, and how we communicate with each other, because technology and social media has had such a huge impact on our world and on us as individuals, that it's hard to connect with people. Like, it's hard to sit there with someone that you might know, right? And you talk, and then, silence comes, and both of you might feel really awkward, and you're like, dang, well, now I gotta figure out what I have to say. Like, you're like stressing in your mind, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? Like, this is like really silent. Like, I just need to say something to fill the void. But sometimes realizing, like, if you can connect with that person on a personal level, if there is silence that is just like silent, and you can just enjoy being in one another's presence, like, then you don't have to be talking, because you're connected, and because the connection between you guys isn't just like, ooh, like, I don't know, isn't just like new, I guess. and that can happen with like meeting new people. Like you might have like awkwardish silence just because you don't know them very well. But I think if you can connect with each other well and have conversations and just talk like you would to your other friends, like just talk about whatever you would with this person or get to know them or ask questions, I definitely think there isn't much of a disconnect, and it doesn't feel as awkward or as like strenuous. Because for me, like there's this one girl in my school and in my class at MCC, and obviously like I've known her since the start of the semester, and you know, we talk in class, we're civil, like we talk in class, we do things together, all of that stuff. But yesterday we were hanging, like we had went to Feed My Starving Children after school, and we were just sitting there packing and talking, and it honestly felt so normal. Like it felt like I had known her for years. Like there was no, like we were just talking, I was asking her questions about her life and her family and her boyfriend and things she's going through, and she was opening up to me about like things that she's been through like early on in like high school and her life, and she was asking me questions about me and about my family and my life and just and all of that, and it didn't at all feel like awkward or like this is really weird, like we're just asking like surface level questions because we don't know what else to say, and so this is really awkward. But it was really just so natural, and I think that played I think the reason to why that played a huge part is, okay, first of all, we were serving, and so it wasn't like we were just out to, you know, coffee or whatever, but we were serving, so it's like we didn't even have the chance to have our phones out. Second of all, because we didn't even have the chance to take our phones out and scroll through Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or Twitter or any of the other things that you do on your phone or text other people, it was just like, well, this is the person that I'm with, and I'm going to give them my undivided attention, and I'm going to connect with them, and I'm going to get to know them, instead of, yeah, well, I know I invited her to come with me, but I'm just going to like kind of do my thing, she'll do her thing, and we'll be fine. And so I really, like, that was super encouraging to me, and it really just, again, because I'm such of a people person, when I'm able to connect and talk to people and just be around people, it really is like so encouraging to me, because I struggle a lot with friendships that are just kind of like, I don't even know like what the word, I guess I could use the word disconnected, but it's just kind of like there's not really anything there. Like it's hard to carry on a conversation, it's hard to start a conversation, it's hard just being in that atmosphere with that person because I just don't feel connected to them. And yes, there will be some people that you're not going to get along with super well, but even then, I think there can still be a part of you that can connect well with them and have conversations with them about just normal day-to-day life, that you don't, that it's not awkward. Like you talk and you say what you got to say and you do your own thing, but it's not like you have to be best buds with them. And so I really just encourage like each and every one of you to like connect well with people. And because I feel like another thing like with social media is it makes this persona of what life should be and how it should be lived and what you should be doing and who you should be doing it with and how you should dress and how you should do all of this stuff. And I feel like it's at this like it's disconnecting us, where now instead of getting someone's number to talk to them or hang out with them, we're just sliding into people's DMs on Instagram. And for me, like, I'm a very different person and already, and so for me, like, if someone was to DM me, like, it's not a bad thing, but if someone was to just follow me on Instagram and DM me and be like, start talking to me, I would, like, I don't know, I don't really use social media to, like, talk to people, And so for me, like, that would be like, I don't really like, yeah, that kind of is like weird, like, compared to like if someone was to like ask me for my number and be like, hey, like, I would love to like, or just ask me for my number and then like start talking to me like over my phone. Like, to me, that's more personal, because even though, yes, if someone were to DM me, it's coming to my phone, there's something about that person like texting you on your own number when it like comes as like a message, compared to like, oh, I'm just gonna slide into their DMs and just talk to them that way, compared to like, oh, let me just get their number. I don't know. And that's like my whole thought process on it. And so, like I said, I know I'm very different than a lot of people. And so that might be weird for some of you. But for me, it doesn't feel, I don't know, it feels like just like, not a waste of time, but like they didn't take any effort to like really want, I don't even know, that sounds so weird to say, like, to get to know me, to ask for my number. They just wanted to like go the easy route. I'm like, well, we're already friends on Instagram, so I'm just gonna DM her. I don't know. That's my whole thought process on it, and that might be weird for some of you, but for me, like, that's just kind of how I feel with that whole thing. And so, but even then, I feel like because social media is such a huge, like, platform and everything for a lot of things, like, people don't call people anymore, which I don't really like talking on the phone anyways. And so, like, it's been really hard for me, and I have a friend who, he calls me all the time, like, he literally FaceTimes me all the time, and for the longest time, like, when he would always do that, I was like, seriously, why don't you just text me, like, please, I don't want to talk on the phone. But it's made me be able to have conversations over the phone, which they're still not my favorite, but it's a lot easier. But people don't talk on the phone anymore. People, like, I feel like text more through Snapchat and Instagram than they do on their own phone. People don't write letters anymore, which I know we're in like the 21st century and letters aren't really a thing as much anymore. I mean, I still love writing letters. Like, I think letters are great. I love receiving mail. I don't know, there's something about that. Like, if the person were to write me a letter, like, they took the time out of their day to like sit down, grab a pen and a piece of paper and like write me this letter. I don't know. There's just something about that like connection that is very like fulfilling and brings joy to me, compared to like sending me a text message, which obviously if you live in the same state as me, I'm not saying write me letters or write people letters, like, just, you can use your phone. But if it's someone out of state or whatever, like, I think occasionally writing a letter, like, that's super sweet. Like, yeah, super sweet. So I just think social media has given us a lot of disconnect. When people are mad at each other, they subtweet, which I have been guilty of, or I've just been guilty of sharing too much feelings on social media. And so I definitely think like we've lost connection with that. Like, if people are having a hard time with someone, instead of just going directly to them or calling them on the phone and being like, hey, this hurt my feelings, or hey, like, I've noticed this, like, anytime we're together you act this way, or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to necessarily be negative. It could be like whatever. Now there's a lot of like, oh, well, I'm just gonna subtweet them, but they'll know that I'm talking about that. But instead of just going and dealing with the problem, I'm just going to put it out on social media for everyone else to see and for them to see, instead of like, no, I'm going to go to that person because I want to be able to connect with them on a good level, and I'm going to talk it out and fix the problem with them. But instead, we just hide behind our screens, we hide behind our technology, and we want to disconnect and distance ourselves from each other, instead of being open and free and being connected with that person, and being open and vulnerable with that person, and being like, hey, I really messed up and would you forgive me, or whatever it is. we lose that communication and we lose that connection because we're so like hung up behind our screen. And I really try to not be on my phone a lot when I'm around people. Like if I'm in a group, I really try to keep it in my purse, so that way if it buzzes or anything, like I don't even know about it. Like it's in my purse, and at the end of the night when I'm on my way home, or when I'm home, or when I'm about to leave, like I'll look at it and be like, oh, half the time my phone's dry anyways. But I will just keep it away because I want to give my undivided attention to the people around me, and I want to be able to connect with them, and I want to be like a good listener. I think a lot of the times too, like where connection falls short is because we're on our phones or doing other things or whatever, like we're not paying attention to the person and what they're saying. And so, excuse me. And so we're sitting there talking to someone, scrolling, and I've been guilty of this, and then someone will say something to me and I'm like, yeah. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to be actually like listening to them. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, like what did you say? And they're like, Charity. And I'm like, okay, I'm really sorry, I'm putting it away. Like, just because then like you're not focused, you're not connected, you're not giving them that attention that they need, because we all need attention, whether we're gonna sit there and say that we don't. We all need everyone needs something. And so I think giving your undivided attention and being able to connect with someone can be very fulfilling for you and for the person that you're connecting with. And it can cause a lot of light to open up about certain things in their life. It can cause a lot of worth as well to, like I said, opening up to sharing things that are going on in their life. And so I really want to get better at connecting with people on a deeper level than just like, how was your day? Like, what do you want to do after high school? What do you want to do after college? But really connecting with them in a way that's like, how is your heart? Like, are you struggling with anything? Like, and if you are, is there anything that I can do for you to help you? Like, because God has given us community, and He's given us people. I mean, even if you look like all throughout the Bible, like Jesus had people. Jesus had the 12. They were always with each other. They like, that was His community, and those were His people. And I mean, His whole mission was to go after people. And sorry guys, I have to keep my mouth like liquidated, otherwise it gets really dry. But He had people all the time around Him, and He, like, that was His community, and He was connected with them on a level that was far more greater and deeper than I think the level we can have here. But He was connected to them within a way that, like, there was connection there, and they were able to be open. And I mean, Jesus knows everything, but they were able to be open with Him, and because of that trust, because of that connection, because of knowing who they were, who He was, and who they were. And so I really think, like, I want to be able to connect with people, and I'm learning to be better at meeting new people and connecting better with people and asking questions, because I sometimes can tend to talk a lot, and not in a bad way, but I can tend to sometimes talk a little bit too much about myself and what's going on in my life, instead of asking questions about other people or what things are going on in their lives. And so I really am working on trying to connect better with people that I'm just now meeting, and people that I know for a long time, and and being able to come to that place of trust and connection where like I can tell them like my deepest darkest secrets, or I can tell them the things that are just really 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 hard for me right now, and I'm just like really struggling, or I can share small things with them like, this is kind of hard for me, like would you just continue to like check in with me, or like something that's not crazy, like don't drink soda, like will you keep me accountable, or just whatever it is, small things, like being able to have that connection and feeling safe and trusting them because you know who they are. And so I really encourage everyone to connect with people. Put away your cell phones, put away the technology, go out to coffee with people, connect with them on a level that's deep, get to know who they are, get to know the things that they like, get to know the things that they don't like, know the small things about them, know their favorite color, know their favorite food, know the big things about them, know the things that hurt them the most, or things that make them happy the most, or whatever it is, and get to really truly know and be connected with one another, because God has given us people to walk through life together with and have community together. And so if we can't connect with one another on a level that's like, hey, I'm really struggling with pride right now, or I'm really struggling with jealousy or envy or worry or whatever, like life can get really hard, and it can get really, like you can get really down on yourself, and it can be this pit of you feel like there's no way out. But when you're able to really connect with people, you have people walk alongside of you and to lift you up and to bear your burdens with you and say like, yeah, like let me totally help you through this, like let me walk through this with you, let me spur you on, let me help you through this hard thing, or let me help you through this easy thing, like let me just be there with you to do life with you. So I would really love to hear like what you guys think on this, just because clearly like these episodes are a lot of my own opinions and own things that I've been through. And so I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about like connecting with one another. And if you feel like our generation has kind of gotten to a point where we just kind of want to hide behind our screens, and we want to Skype people, and we want to FaceTime people, and we want to DM people and just talk to them through Snapchat. And when we're together, we don't really want to, like, we like that we're together, but we still want to be talking to everyone else instead of just giving our undivided attention to that person and being like, you know what, you are worth this time that I've carved out. Like, you are worth the hour of time that I have to get coffee with you, or you're worth the 4 hours of time that we're gonna grab coffee, grab dinner, go on a hike, or you're worth the time of 30 minutes of calling you on the phone, or you're worth the time of however much time you're gonna give to that person. Like, because you are worth that time, I'm going to carve out that chunk, and I'm going to give you my undivided attention and be able to connect with you on a level that's deep, instead of hiding behind my screen and seeing what everyone else is doing while I'm with you. So I would really love to hear your thoughts on that. And yeah, because again, like these are my opinions on this, and so I don't, like, who knows, like, I mean, again, it's my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys have to think or say, what you guys have to say about this. And if you agree with me, or you don't agree with me, or you feel like there are other ways to help you with this, or just kind of, yeah, I want to know what you guys have to think. So again, I just encourage you to put away your phones when you're with people and really just get to know them and love them for who they are, Love them for their weirdness, love them for their quietness, love them for their loudness, their silliness, their goofiness, their just everything that God has given them. Like, they're worth it, whether they might be very different from you, whether they might not think the same way that you do, whether they might not dress the same way that you do, believe the same things that you do. Like, God created each individual for His glory. He made them fearfully and wonderfully for His glory, and He has a purpose and a plan for that person and for you, and He loved you enough and thought you were worth it enough that He went and died on the cross to be connected to you. And so because of that, you can now have that connection with one another. And so really just encourage you to get to know people. Be friends with people that are outside of your comfort zone. Be friends with people that don't listen to the same music that you do, or don't do the same things that you do, or wear the same clothes that you do, or whatever, or have the same kind of lifestyle that you do. Like, get to know people from all different, like, what is it? Guys, I forgot the word. Oh, okay. Anyways, I had a word. Oh, I don't remember. That's horrible. People that just get to know people that are different and connect with them well. And I just, for me, it's been a real blessing to have people like the girl that I told you about in the beginning of the story. Like, I feel like we're gonna be like good friends. Like, we're gonna be good friends because there wasn't anything to hide behind. Like, we were just real with one another, and it was like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is my family. This is it. Like, this is who I am, whether you like me or you don't, and whatever. And it wasn't like, oh, I have to put on this facade of this is who I am, but like, nope, this is me, and I'm going to connect with you, and that's you. And yes, we might be different, but I still think you're worth it, and I still want to be connected to you on that level where if there's anything that you need or you're struggling with anything, like, you can come and talk to me. And so get to know people, get connected to people, because it really can help you, and it can also help that person that you're connecting with. So that's all the thoughts that I have to say on that. Again, I would really, really love to hear what you guys have to say. So when I produce this, if you want, like, you can please comment in the comments down below on YouTube and just let me know what you think. If not, comment on my Instagram and let me know what you guys think. Like, one of the things, like, I really am trying to start on my podcast is really get connected to you guys, because I'm doing this for you, but I'm also doing it for myself. And so I want to have, and I know we're talking about like getting connected with people, but who knows, I might not know certain people that are listening to my podcast right now, which if you are, thank you so much. That means a lot. But I might not know you, and so I would love to get connected to you and talk about and have a dialogue with you about connection or about other topics that I'm going to bring to the table. And I would love to get connected to you and to talk about that. And so if you don't have any questions or whatever it is, like, that's totally fine too. But if you do, like, feel free to put them in the comments below. Feel free to comment on my pictures that I post. Feel free when I ask questions on my stories to answer those or ask questions or just whatever it is, because I would really love to just connect with you and have a dialogue with you. So again, thank you to everyone who is listening, and I love you all very much, and I'm super thankful that God has given me this opportunity to produce these episodes, and I hope that He continues to bless them and to get glory out of them all. And so again, thank you everyone, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Love you guys.